Yes, guys, welcome back to another video from TooEasy Labs. And today I'm super excited to introduce you to our Webflow component library. In this video, we'll take you through all the steps you need to get started. We'll also build out a basic page together using different items from the new library. So let's jump in. So the first thing you need to do is clone the TooEasy style guide. You can find this in the Webflow marketplace. I'm going to search for TooEasy, wait for the results, and click the Clone in Webflow button. So let's name this project TooEasy Demonstration and hit Create Site. Now once the Webflow Designer loads, you'll see the project style guide page. This page allows you to visualize and edit all your project's colors, typography, interface elements, layout, and more. If we head across to the navigator, you'll notice a div called TE classes. Nested inside are hundreds of predefined classes that sync up with our component library. If you're interested in learning more about how we structure our projects and approach class naming, you can scroll back to the top and open the TooEasy styling system documentation in a new window. Now, while there's similarities to existing frameworks, we have a slightly different approach to spacing and color application. To get the most out of our component library, I'd recommend familiarizing yourself with the documentation to ensure consistency between projects. The next step is to edit and adjust the style guide so we can begin importing our components from the library. So let's open up our Pages panel and move the style guide page inside the Styles folder. Great. Now we have a blank homepage with a basic page structure already set out for us. At the top of the navigator, you'll find a component called Global. This element needs to be placed on every page and includes the custom CSS code we need to ensure our component's style as intended. Before we get started with our page design, we can choose to make global typography, color, and layout adjustments inside the variables panel. We've already set up predefined collections to help you stay organized. The first thing I'm going to build is the main navigation. So I'm going to flick across to my other tab and note I'm already logged into my TooEasy account, so I can access the library via the dashboard or the landing page links. Now once the page is loaded, you'll notice the list of the latest components that have been released, along with a sidebar navigation on the left-hand side. So let's head over to the sidebar and click on the navigation folder. And inside we'll click on main navs. So I'm going to click on nav 35, and inside the new window, I'm going to come up to the copy component button. Once that is copied, I'll head back to my Webflow project and open up our primary nav component and paste the item inside. So you'll notice we have an empty drop-down here inside the navigation. So let's head back to the component library, open up the inserts folder and explore the Mega Inserts collection. I'm going to use Mega 20 and copy this component and paste it into our project like so. Now we can choose to rename the Mega Insert 20 prefix class before we paste this in, but for now, I'm just going to leave it as is. So next, let's find a footer for this page. So I'm going to head back to the navigation folder and browse the footer collection. Okay, so let's scroll down the page and let's go with this footer, and we'll click into that footer. And if we click the arrows underneath the image, you can see a preview of what this footer looks like on mobile. So we can see that on mobile, these footer lists are basically being condensed into accordions. I'm going to copy this component and head back to my project. Okay, now that that's pasted in, let's open and close that drop down. Great, everything looks like it's working as expected. So the next thing we want to do is find a header for this page. Now there's a fair few results on this page, so I'm going to use the filter. Let's go with a 1-column layout and a header with a background image. So I'll copy the component and paste it in like so. Now you'll notice each of our header components come with a placeholder nav. So I'm going to remove that as we already have this on our page. Next, we're going to want to update our header so that it floats over the background image. I'm going to give the nav wrapper a combo class of isFixed and set the position to fixed top with a high Z index. You'll notice since our nav is fixed, we now need to add some extra padding to the top of the header to compensate. If we open up our header, we can see that the height is 4.5 rem. So let's head back to our header section and add the same amount of padding here. Great, that has fixed the spacing. Now you notice the component we pasted in has a class prefix of header-265. For better management, let's rename this using our class renamer tool. So I'm going to hit Command Copy or Control Copy the Webflow component and come across to the other tab, and I'll paste it into the blank canvas. Next, I'm going to type in the current class of header-265 and rename it to header1. Actually, let's go with hero1. Please note you can rename this to anything you like, but for most marketing websites, there's usually 3 to 5 different header layouts. So naming it either hero or header-12345 usually works quite well. Okay, let's come back to our project and paste in our freshly renamed component. And there you have it. All parent and child classes have been updated in one click. Okay, so let's keep building out our page. Next, I'm going to look for a client section. So let's copy this component and paste it in. I'll once again quickly rename this to clients without a prefix number, as it's unlikely there'll be multiple instances inside this project. Something to note here, each of our client logos are deliberately placed inside a custom code embed. This allows us the flexibility of setting the width for each individual item using a CMS text field. I'll be doing another video on this shortly, but you can also, of course, remove the embed and use standard image elements instead. So next up, we're going to create a team section. So let's head back to our library. And I'm going to choose this design here. Now you'll notice at the bottom of this component name is a badge called carousel. This simply indicates to us that a power-up must be installed for this component to function as intended. So I'll come back to this in a moment, but first let's copy the component into our project. Next, let's rename this component's prefix to team-1. And I'm not 100% sold on this card design. So I'm going to head back to the library again and explore the naked card collection. Now the term naked simply means multi-purpose. You can use this card however you like because the content inside of it has not been set. You can also click on the info button to view any notes related to a component's collection. So if we open up the info modal here, you can see the prefix for naked cards is card dash followed by the reference number. So that's the prefix that we're going to want to rename. Okay, so here are the results. Let's go with card 232. You'll notice that when I click on the copy component button, you have the ability to choose to copy the individual card itself or a list with multiple instances of this card inside. In this case, we just want the individual component. So I'll copy that and paste it in like so, and head over to the Renamer tool and give it a matching prefix. Great, so that's pasted in now, and I don't need a description field inside the card, so let's remove that. I also don't need the eyebrow label, so I'll delete that too. Let's just adjust the flex gap here a little bit and increase the rem value here, and I'll also insert a placeholder name here. Now with the card updated, let's just duplicate the list items so there's at least more than 2 items inside this carousel. Great. Now to get the carousel functionality we need, let's install the app. So I'm going to search TooEasy app, and when we click install, that's going to open another instance of the designer in a new tab. As that loads, you'll see a list of free and premium power-ups. Now during the setup of this video, I've already installed the carousel script. So this is why you'll notice a green pill on the carousel card. So I'll just click on the uninstall button and reinstall the script like so. And once installed, you'll receive a success notification in the top right. If you'd like to learn more about this power-up, you can click on the link beneath the button to open the documentation, and that has a lot of information on, the attributes where you need to apply those. We're also going to be creating individual videos for each power-up shortly. Now, before we publish our page and see the fruits of our labor, let's add one more section. I'm going to head back to the library and find an FAQ section. Okay, so this one here, let's copy, paste, and rename like so. Okay, great, that's looking good. You may have noticed that, like the team component, this also had a power-up associated with it. So if we click on one of our FAQ dropdowns, you can see the custom attribute of T-accordion. So let's open up our power-ups app again and install the accordion script. Now let's publish our page and check to see if the power-up scripts are working as expected. And I've just noticed we need to apply a theme tag to the header since it sits on top of the image. So let's scroll back up and give it a mode class of theme image. Again, these combo classes can be found inside the TooEasy styling system documentation. So for this demonstration, let's also set the wrapper to absolute instead of fixed. And publish. Now let's refresh the page and scroll down. So we have our clients block there. Next we have our swipeable team carousel section, followed by a FAQ section with a simple predefined open-close transition for each accordion. And if we switch over to mobile view inside of Chrome, you'll notice 80% of the responsive development has already been taken care of. Now, of course, there's still a little bit of work to be done, such as setting up collections, adjusting spacing and the like. But for the most part, we've managed to create and publish a simple page in under 15 minutes. We've already been using this library to speed up our agency workflow, and the results have been amazing. Yes, that's a wrap for today's video. If you're interested in trying out a new Webflow component library, I've left a link for you down below in the video description. And if you enjoyed the content, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing or sharing it with a friend. Until next time, take it easy.